Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My aunt hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicky Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome into our podcast, to our show, The Vicky Show. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I am so excited about addressing a very important issue, an ongoing issue that the Black family discusses, because it's about Black empowerment. It's about Black liberation. It's about Black self-determination. And it is interrelated to our dear sister, Breonna Taylor, who I discussed yesterday, along with Miss Wanda Jones, which is Ahmaud Arbery's mother, her demand for the death penalty. So these are two different instances. And I want to talk briefly about how folk that are in Black society are trying to parlay that situation in lieu of the upcoming, not only presidential election, but also some of the other down ballot races that are taking place as well. So just a little bit of housekeeping, if you would bear with me just for a moment. As you come in, please come in liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please like, share, and subscribe as you come in. Please make sure that you text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when one of our queens go live from time to time. Shout out to you, Dwayne Robinson, for your $75 gift. Are you starting it off right today? First one, I blessed it 1,000-fold. Thank you so much for supporting Black media. What an honor. Thank you, dear brother. Family, also I want you to know that we do have a shop where you can get all types of Fly New Being Queen products, including things like this mug. Go to shopfnq.com. Somebody please put that in the chat. Shopfnq.com. Thank you so very much. Now, surely you all are aware, of what took place with our sister Breonna Taylor, our sister that in the middle of the night while she was sleeping, her body, according to the funeral home, was riddled with bullets and bullet holes after police officers who went to the wrong home in the middle of the night came in unannounced in plain clothes, which means that they were out of uniform. Her boyfriend, who was legally licensed to carry, he was a law-abiding, Second Amendment toting, somebody talk Black to me, gun owner. He, like a real Black man who has two main duties, to provide and to protect, was doing exactly that, protecting his woman, protecting his family, when he began to shoot, because again, he believed his home to was being burglarized. And of course he would think that, because number one, we find that the police was at the wrong house. They were not in uniform. They did not properly announce. It was in the middle of the night. They started shooting. One report says at least 20 times, another one 28 times. And we found out through another report, it said that the police were shooting through closed blinds. So obviously he had no reason to believe that that was the police. He had no reason to believe that. And in fact, I say, of course, at the time that they were doing this, they were acting outside of their legal capacity. their official capacity, which means that they were actually acting as a lynch mob. They weren't officers. Shout out to you, Shawnee, for your gift. I bless your beloved gift 1,000-fold. You're amazing right back, sis. Thank you so very much. So we discussed that. Certainly we discussed Ahmaud Arbery's open lynching. You saw the footage of it on this show and throughout social media, and of course, even now mainstream media, right? You're familiar with those stories. In lieu of that, the Grio, which purports to be a Black newspaper, meaning that their content that they're writing is supposed to be for Black people, a Black perspective, uplifting, informative for Black people. Watch this. They wrote a piece, and I want to read it to you. I want to read it to you. I want to read you an excerpt from this newspaper. Now, just before we go further, I want to make sure that you have the proper context. I want you to understand a few things, which many of you, if you follow the Vicky show, you probably already know where I'm going with this. How many of you all know who this man is? Hold on. Let me get it right. Shout out to you, Victor, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you so much for supporting Black media. Watch this. How many of you know who Byron Allen is? Let me just go on and put it out there. If you don't know who Byron Allen is, here he is. That's Byron Allen, the owner of the Grio. Do you all see that? Byron Allen. It's brother Byron Allen right there. Y'all remember he was a comedian, television host, and businessman. Okay. Keep that in mind. That is, yes, he also owns a weather channel. That's right. Shout out to you, Pam, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. That's right. That's right. So have that image in your mind. And of course, I've done previous podcasts on him and his claim to represent Black interests, claiming that he's using the fact that he owns the weather station and the fact that he's supposed to be picking up some other networks and all this other kind of stuff. He claims that, he's so pro-Black and all this other kind of stuff. And of course, when I gave you guys the receipts sometime back to show you that some of the very networks and some of the acquisitions, media acquisitions that he got, very few had anything to do with Black content. It was pet shows and stuff. Another one was what? A car show or something. It's dealing with little animals and giraffes and dogs and cats and stuff. When he was pressed on that. Come to find out it wasn't much to that. But nevertheless, he now owns the Grio. And the Grio put out this piece that I want to discuss. I'm pulling it up now. This one came out today. A piece written by Charles Ellison. Charles Ellison, the writer of this piece that I'm getting ready to read from, is said to be a veteran political strategist, an executive producer and host of Reality Check on WURD radio in Philadelphia. So I also looked at the Twitter page where he says he can be engaged at Ellison Report. That's at Ellison Report. Okay, so that's the brother right there. That's the brother that wrote the piece. He said he's a veteran political strategist. Watch this. This is the headline that the Grio put out. My goodness. This is the headline that the Grio put out. Can you all see that? That is Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery. He says, outraged about Ahmaud and Breonna? He's asking a question. Channel that energy into a vote. Oh, I'm not going to be before you long today. This piece from the Grio today says outraged. They're asking the question. Outraged about Ahmaud and Breonna? Channel that energy into a vote. Black family. It reads, as outrage, fear, and angst bubble up in Georgia and now Kentucky over the grisly murders of Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, one question fails to appear in the broader dialogue. How will these tragedies impact the 2020 elections? I'm skipping. He says we can't arrive at either with just hashtags, protest, tears, or fist pumps in the lockdown confines of our homes. Achieving both will be the result of pressures applied from an aligned mix of strategically calibrated protest, mass voter mobilization, and decisive election wins that lead to the dramatic policy and personnel changes needed for redress. Did you all hear what I just said? He says again, we need achieving both, he says, will be the result of pressures applied from an aligned mix of strategically calibrated protest, mass voter mobilization, and decisive election wins that lead to the dramatic policy and personnel changes needed for redress. Think on that for a second. Eddie, thank you for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. You are the true light in these dark times. Thumbs up. Thank you for your kind words. Listen. It goes on. In the cases of Arbery and Taylor, Black people, Black organizers, and Black voters should be retaliating through the polls. God, today. Did you all hear that? Now, I'm going to be honest with you today. I'm going to be honest with you. We got our work cut out for us, Black family. We got our work cut out for us. Dealing with these buttery bussy bites and stuff today. These butter biscuits that lean so heavily and almost solely upon faulty white supremacist systems. We've got our work cut out for us. Listen. He says many in the advocacy space are looking for these tragedies to spark awareness and a national movement. There is no bigger tipping point opportunity than these here for 2020 elections. There's little doubt that the very unapologetic upward trend of vicious violence against Black people have accelerated since the election of Trump in 2016. I'm going to skip through this madness. He says, he's basically saying that a not so complicated fix is simply having every last available, eligible, and registered Black voter laser focused on not only removing Trump from office, but also destroying Republican control of the Senate. Do you remember the other day I read to you a quote from Dr. Ava Muhammad, attorney Dr. Ava Muhammad, where she says that whoever has the superior thought has a superior action. Whoever has a superior thought has a superior action. When you are reading an alleged Black publication like the Grio, when you are listening to Black content, Black television hosts, radio hosts, and the like, any form of Black media, a purported, alleged Black media, listen, that's going to affect the quality of your thoughts and thus the quality of your action. If these are the people and those like them are the one that's advising Black folk and suggesting that we channel our energy, our outrage at the murder, the lynch mob, and the lynching of our sister and brother. They want us to turn around and take all of that energy and do what? They want us to engage in a loser strategy. Black folk have been voting, been begging to vote, organizing to vote, advocating voting since they could. Did you all hear what I just said? This is a losing strategy. And the thing about a real loser, the mark of a real loser is not an individual that fails from time to time. The mark of a loser is one that's determined to hold on to his losing mindset, his losing strategy, and refuses to change. Listen, the title alone, and maybe my moderator can put the link in the chat. Please put the link in the chat. I'm surprised it's not in there already. Put the link in the chat because I just switched that over. Thank you so much. The title of this piece alone, again, is titled Outrage. He asked the question, outraged about Ahmaud and Breonna, channel that energy into a vote. Those are the conclusions of the unintelligent who are thoroughly taken with the intelligence of our open enemy. What do you mean? People who think like that, say such things. That's the conclusion of the unintelligent who are thoroughly taken with the intelligence of our open enemy. See, the strategy that Charles Ellison is sitting here advocating is something that only a white Democratic Party would push. Let me move on with this. I want you to listen to a little more of what he said before I go further in my commentary. Thank you so much for putting that link there. Listen. I just barely sent it, but listen. And as I'm pulling this next part up, please give us a thumbs up, like and share, family. If you haven't already, please make sure also that you're subscribed. Sometimes people don't realize that they're actually not subscribed. He says, the greatest existential threat to Republicans, conservatives, and the highly organized white nationalist ecosystem supporting them is to suffer defeat in elections. Let me ask you something, Black family. And I hope I'm only talking to intelligent Black people or Black people who want to be intelligent. Do you think that Black folks saying such things are making a mockery of our Black martyrs? Do you think that the blood that was shed and the terror that was experienced by our brother and sister recently, do you think that the way we honor Black life is to mobilize behind upholding a white supremacist system where you're not even making any demands that's specific for Black folks that would empower us in a way toward Black liberation and self-determination? I'm trying my best not to holler right now. I'm asking seriously this question. Is the highest way that Black folk can honor the lives of our sister who took at least 8 bullets, and our brother who was surrounded by devils and repeatedly shot, and based on some evidence, apparently and very likely harassed days prior to his murder? Is this how we're to honor their lives? He does a whole lot of talking about all kinds of races. He talks about Mitch McConnell. He's talking about residents in different parts of the country. Like in this part here, he says, Black residents account for 10% of Kentucky's statewide population. Yet during McConnell's last race in 2014, there were just 8% of the statewide electorate voting 90% for his Democratic challenger, Allison Lundergan Grimes. Recent polls show him either tied or barely scraping out a victory against likely Democratic challenger Amy McGrath, who will still have to win a primary against two rivals on June 23rd. But untapped pockets of Black voters in places like Louisville helped recently elected Governor Andy Beshear best the Republican incumbent last year. He goes on telling us that similar opportunities are available in the form of not just one, but two U.S. Senate seats in Georgia. He says, and it's a state that's 34% Black. He said Black turnout would be key in snatching both seats away from current Republican incumbents. He goes on to talk about Stacey Abrams. Listen to what he says. Listen. He said during Stacey Abrams' ugly loss by theft to current Governor Brian Kemp, he acknowledges that it was a stolen, corrupted election. It's an acknowledgement that Black folk came out in droves so that she could win, and she should have won. But there was cheating. But yet the pressure is still put on us to do even more. Black family, when is enough enough? I said, Black family, when is enough enough? They want us to keep slaving and building and trying to make America great for white folk, and want us at the same time to be silent about the reparations and the theft that we experienced in the beginning. And after waiting 465 years for justice, they tell us to just keep waiting, or right now is not the time. I need somebody Black to talk Black to me. People who think like this, people who speak like this, who write like this, beloved, they're not intelligent. They are seriously disturbed. Don't allow them to confuse you into believing that somehow they are deep and that they're some real strategist and intelligent person. You can't be that intelligent if you're only advocating the same losing strategy after all this time. Over 1,000 of you in the chat. Please keep giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. My name is Vicki Dillard. I'm here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure that you set your alarms to know that the Vicki Show is on right here on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com. Listen, back to this Georgia election. I'm going somewhere with this, but I want you to listen to some of the madness. I want you to listen to some of the madness. He says during Stacey Abrams' ugly loss by theft to current Governor Brian Kemp, Black voters were 31% of the overall electorate and voted 94% for Abrams. Watch this. What did he say? Black voters were 31% of the overall electorate and they voted for Stacey Abrams by 94%, right? He says, but the turnout didn't match the population. If Black Georgians represent 34% of the population, where's the 3%? It makes me feel like that they blame us. Like Angela Rye did. How many of you I remember a few months ago, Angela Rye blamed Black folk for the execution of one of our brothers down south. And she said that had basically Black folks voted in greater numbers, that governor there who was refusing to stay the execution would not have won. Black folks who built this country, Black folks who continue to deal with benign neglect policies, who've overcome chattel slavery, convict leasing, the injustices of sharecropping, Jim Crow, new Jim Crow. The only things these butter biscuits and bootlicks and Sambos can come up with is to blame Black folk for not showing up to vote for white people. None of these individuals are advocating that we demand reparations or cut the check. But yet they lecture us. You see him acknowledge that Stacey Abrams lost by theft. Those are his words. But who cares that the system is rigged? Who cares that they're not playing fair? Who cares that they made mischief inside of government to steal your vote? Black folks, you're still expected to do more. You're still expected to slave even more. And by the way, don't ask for anything for you. That is the thinking and the advocacy of an enemy. I'm afraid that I have to use that language, family. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. And it's important that I stay on these kinds of subjects. Why? Because the election is coming up. And I am constantly going to expose to you the tricks to entrap Black folk into empowering white folk into places of power without any promises of policy changes substantively for Black people. Thumbs up, family. Listen. He goes on to say the Arbery case could present a mobilization moment, along with the fact that Black Georgians are also 41% of all statewide COVID-19 cases and more than half of all COVID-19 deaths. Democrats with the line movements should get focused and help organize the untapped voters, the ones who weren't purged or had their votes suppressed and had every opportunity to make it to the polls in 2018. Do you hear that, family? Did you hear that? He thinks that in the time of our grieving and our fighting and the trauma that we too experienced, watching the murders of our brothers and sisters and knowing that we too are going to experience those effects in our daily lives and those of our loved ones, he wants us to be motivated to empower a white supremacist system in the same old way, in the same old losing way than before. This is the mind of a seriously disturbed slave. Shout out to you, Erin, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Erin says, my dear warrior queen, I despise the fact that you even read the words from such cowardly, non-threatening Black men. That's exactly right. Non-threatening Black men. Black men who don't make nobody shiver or shake. That's the reason why, my brother, I said that in the beginning of the show, that we've got our work cut out for us because we're once again having to deal with the Buttery Bussy Bite clan. I know for some of you, hearing this kind of thing might sound like it makes sense, but I'm here to let you know, baby, it's not. It's the thing that's kept us in the condition that we've been in. The wrong kind of thinking. Watch this. He also acknowledged the fact in Georgia that 41% of the statewide COVID-19 cases and more than half of the COVID-19 deaths adversely affects us, right? Who cares about the trauma and the physical labor that Black folks feel? They still want us to muster up enough energy to vote for somebody that's not even promised us anything. I need you all to think on that for a minute. It continues. Give me a few more moments to read you a little bit more of this because I need you all to thoroughly see the mind of a seriously disturbed slave. Why are you saying slave, Vicky, about this buttery bussy bite, with all due respect? Because as I always say, slaves are the only ones that are expected to give something and to do something, watch this, for nothing. Anybody that advocates that we mobilize and muster our powers to vote without demanding something in advance, in exchange, rather, that quid pro quo, and I'm talking about economics, that person wants you to remain a slave. It is that simple. Shout out to you, Willie, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold, dear brother. Listen. Watch this. You also heard him say that they need to mobilize They need to focus and help energize the untapped voters. Watch this. He says the ones who weren't purged or had their votes suppressed and had every opportunity to make it to the polls in 2018. Did you hear that? He again acknowledges, in addition to the other forms of theft that we experienced with our vote being suppressed. When they say voter suppression, black family, that's white folks' cute way of saying black voter theft. When they talk about the illegal foreclosures that black folks experienced disproportionately during the Great Recession because we were specifically targeted, don't call it foreclosure. Call it property theft. Oh, baby, they didn't like Sister Vicky when I was bringing those lawsuits. Calling it exactly that in many cases. Shout out to you, AJ White. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. He says, Black Queen must rise. Yes, indeed. 1,200 plus of you in the chat. Thank you for tuning into the Vicky Show. Shout out to you, Derek Watson. May your gifts, those of you that are supporting economically Black media, may your gift be returned to you. May your gift be blessed 1,000-fold. Every one of you that are here, if you haven't, on the count of 3, let's do it together. Please hit that thumbs up button and hit the like button. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please take a moment to hit that thumbs up button. You help us to draw other folk into the podcast. And that's important that other people hear these kinds of things because we are intentionally shifting and changing the consciousness of our people for the express and sole purposes of empowering, informing, inspiring them to ultimately take rule of their own lives. Are y'all hearing me today? Listen. Thank you for giving us a thumbs up, family. I see some of you doing it. I see some of you are doing it. Listen. He goes on, y'all. Candidates, strategists, and organizers should look to the brutal shootings in Louisville and Brunswick as flashpoints to mobilize existing Black voters and activating brand new ones in 2020. Let me tell you, the Grio, Byron Allen, you guys represent the old dead Black media. And thank God, more and more and more of us are not listening to you anyway. But to the 2 or 3 that still are in the world, the 2 or 3 that still are listening to you in the world, we're hoping to reach them. He said again, family, shout out to you, Alex, for your gift. Candidates, strategists, organizers should look to the brutal shootings in Louisville and Brunswick as flashpoints to mobilize existing Black voters and activating brand new ones in 2020. Let me tell you all something. When you all saw those back-to-back lynchings and killings, did you feel inspired? Did something just bubble up in your little heart that says, oh, oh, I'm gonna vote? Did that spark that kind of thought in your mind after you just viewed and experienced more and more trauma? More unnecessary casualties in this war against us? Is that the thought that came in your mind? Did that bring you relief, the thought of, my golly, I'm gonna show these white supremacist enemy combatants. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna activate the community. I'm gonna get everybody I know registered to vote. I'm gonna show those white supremacists. Is that what moves you, Black family? The black folk I know, they're not talking like that. The black folk I know are not at all interested in upholding a white supremacist government that refuses to even give us reparations. Because with those reparations, we can collectively make our own neighborhoods safe and decent places to live. With those reparations, we can have our own schools, our own institutions, our own stores, our own clinics, our own little world, so that we can start more and more to get out of y'all's. Somebody talk black to me. I bless whoever just gave that gift. Listen, Eric, I believe it was. Very few major cities do you go into where you don't find that there's a Chinatown. You don't see anybody. You don't see the Chinese voting like that. You don't see the push and the pressure and the tricks, the voting tricks put on the Arabs and the Jews, the white Jews, like you see put on black folk. Somebody talk black to me. But for some reason, black folks are always disproportionately targeted to endure all the hell that we've always endured and to overcome, to vote, while they are, watch this, openly hostile to giving any of us reparations. Are y'all hearing me today? Isn't that something? While they remain openly hostile to giving us reparations, they still expect us to save white folks from themselves by voting. Keep giving us a thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. I won't be before you long today. Listen. Watch this. Watch this. He goes on to say, again, I'm reading from the Grio, this article today. For those of you that are just coming in, the Grio, the news publication owned by Byron Allen, they put a piece out today that's titled Outraged About Ahmaud and Brianna. Channel that energy into a vote. That's what they are advocating that we do. So I'm reading to you from that right now. I'm almost finished. Listen. It goes on. Listen to the last part of this madness. He says, candidate strategists should look to the brutal shootings, I mentioned that before, in Louisville and Brunswick as flashpoints, right? To mobilize existing black voters and activating new ones. The last paragraph. He says a more immediate step is to honor the memories. Y'all listen. Listen to what he says. He says a more immediate step is to honor the memories of Ahmaud and Brianna with clear political action versus the impatience of a microwave movement. We can send a clear message that this violence won't be tolerated and that all responsible parties will be punished in the court of law and in the corridors of power. What do you mean in the court of law? What do you mean in the court of law? We're talking about it's the court of law that's been screwing us over and that hasn't been giving us justice under both Democratic and Republican administrations. Can you all see and hear me okay? Looks like we're having problems with the comment section, but hopefully you all are able to see me okay. I need my moderator to message me on on the other platform so that I'll know that everybody can still hear and see me okay, because I'm not able to see any more comments. I think that's something that's going on right now with YouTube. So please let me know if you can still hear and see me okay, because I cannot see any comments. Okay. They're saying that they can't comment. Okay, right. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now, but you all can see me and hear me okay? I want to know if you can hear and see. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'm going to keep going, and we're going to cut it off here in just a moment, family. Just hang out with me. We know that YouTube likes to play. Sometimes it's not just them, but others. But I'm going to keep on going for a few more minutes, okay? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing, family. We're going to keep on going, even though they might be messing with us. Listen, I want to read you a powerful statement. You all know I love Minister Farrakhan. Listen to he said something long ago in a lecture, a quote that I heard from a lecture. Can I tell you what he said? Listen very closely to this. And again, we're talking about black media, because the Grio is allegedly black media, purports to be black media. That means that they have access to minds, right? They help to shape thoughts. Whoever you listen to influences how you think. They shape your worldview. They impact your belief systems. Listen, Minister Farrakhan said, he who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes the circumference of your activity. Oh my God. I hope you guys are hearing me today. He who gives you the diameter of your circumference, he who gives you the diameter of your knowledge, rather, prescribes the circumference of your activity. That's a mathematical phrase. So I pulled up this chart. And how many of you all know that the outer part of here, can you all see the outer part is the circumference? And the red line here in the middle is the diameter, right? So keep in mind the quote that Minister Farrakhan, that I just read you, that Minister Farrakhan said so long ago. Do you all see this chart? Again, he says that he who gives you the diameter of your knowledge. Let's look at the picture again. That's the diameter, right? He who gives you the diameter of your knowledge does what? Prescribes the circumference. Let me go back to the chart. Prescribes the circumference of your activity. That has to do with whoever is the one that's giving you knowledge. They're the ones that's influencing and controlling how influential you are. They're the ones that are controlling your activity, your thinking. That's the reason why I'm saying that this knowledge that we have been getting from bootlets, butter biscuits, and buttery bussy bites, it's what's limiting the circumference. Our effectiveness is keeping us limited, is what I'm trying to tell you. We reject that idea. We reject that losing strategy. And this is not just to the Grio. This is to other all members of dead black media that think similarly. Do our ancestors deserve for us to put up a fight now? That's what I want to know from you. After 465 years of all types of inhumane treatment and trauma and oppression and death and murder and fraud and loss, do our ancestors deserve for us to fight and to fight now. Is 465 years, Black family, long enough to wait? Is 465 years long enough for us to wait? Who are we to America? I was reading this powerful quote from a book called How White Folks Got So Rich. The Untold Story of American White Supremacy. Again, the name of the book is How White Folks Got So Rich. A quote from the book is from Ralph Wiley. A quote from the book says, "Give me the free labor of one Black person for 1 year, I would be a rich man. Give me the free labor of a dozen Black people for 1 year, I would be a very rich man. Give me the free labor of millions of Black people for 250 years, I would be America." I can't see your comments right now, but I hope, I sense that you are absorbing what I'm saying. This was written so long ago, but we know that we were here in America before America was officially formed in 1776. And including the year 2020, we start counting from 1555. Not just 1619 like some of the other folk do. And the numbers that I used are numbers that I was taught by. And that is verified in the Congressional Museum in Washington, D.C. Listen, listen, listen. I want to read that quote again. Again, you can Google the book and get it, How White Folks Got So Rich. I think you can also get it at NOI.org. That's NOI.org, I believe. Watch this. Ralph Wiley says, "Give me the free labor of one Black person for 1 year, I would be a rich man. Give me the free labor of a dozen Black people for 1 year, I would be a very rich man. Give me the free labor of millions of Black people for 250 years, I would be America." That is an acknowledgement from Ralph Wiley in the book, How White Folks Got So Rich. See, how white folks got so rich is not a mystery. It's not because they were brilliant. It's not because they were amazing. How white folks got so rich is that they came and got a people. They built their world. They stole our labor. They stole our intellectual property. That means our inventions, our ideas, products, goods, and services. It's no mystery. And when you steal from someone for a long time and you don't pay them for all of those years, it's no wonder, baby, how you acquire wealth. And it's no wonder why we're all so poor. Due to some of the technical issues today, family, come here tomorrow. If we see that there's any issue, make sure that you are subscribed to yourblackworldtv.com, and I'll go live tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow on Your Black World because of the technical issues and YouTube or whatnot tripping to where folks can't even comment and so forth. And my screen is not even moving. Nothing is moving right now on the right side of the screen. So tomorrow, if we're having issues tomorrow on right here on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com, remember, tomorrow we're going to yourblackworldtv.com. So make sure that you're subscribed at yourblackworldtv.com. That's Your Black World TV. Are y'all hearing me? Uh-oh. Oh no, somebody said they've wiped our videos. So tomorrow, go to Your Black World. I don't know what's going on here. Your Black World family. Go to Your Black World TV tomorrow. Wow. Our network is under attack. Wow. So let us get figured out what's going on here. Okay. I'm going to get ready to end it here. We're not going to, and I should say wipe out our videos. Let me clarify that. I cannot see whether they wiped out your comments or whatever's going on. I can't see any of that right now. Okay. So I don't know what's going on, but I cannot see any of your comments. So that part is wiped out. We'll get clarity on what's what. So just to be on the safe side, meet us at Your Black World tomorrow due to technical issues. Okay. So because we're having technical issues, go to Your Black World TV tomorrow. My name is Vicky Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. And remember, we are not going to continue to be a slave. It's either cut the check or we will not vote at all. And cutting the check means that is a means, a form of power. By us cutting the check means that we're going to have power to build our own world and to increase our own Black liberation and self-determination. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Subscribe to FlyNubianQueenTV.com so that we can stay in direct touch with you. Make sure that you subscribe, that you text the word Queens rather to 31996 so that we're able to receive phone notifications. You're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Love you to pieces. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace.